Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a great day, and we've been struggling with some server issues lately. Mostly those of us in the United States have been. We talked about it recently in a meeting, and we're working with CubeHost to get it all sorted out. But the server seems to be behaving itself right now. So I'm going to try and get an episode in. Well, the server is still working. Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen, if you've been watching the last couple Hermitcraft episodes, you know that I've seen, you've seen some of the lag issues that I've been dealing with. And, you know, it's very frustrating. And honestly, when you have lag, server lag that bad, it really kind of sucks all the fun out of everything, you know? I mean, like a little bit of lag, okay, you know, it is what it is, but when you can't place blocks like that, you know? But we're working on it. We're working on getting it fixed. We're trying to get the problem figured out, and I'm sure we'll get it all sorted out soon enough. But right now, as I said, the server seems to be working just fine at the moment, so I want to get some work done on the cathedral. I think the first thing I want to do is I want to get these pillars here. We've got these stone pillars that I've marked out. There's 1, 2, 3 on each side here, and then there's another one here and here. I want to get those in place, and we're going to keep them fairly simple for the moment. We're just going to kind of build them up like so, all the way up to the ceiling, and I think, I'm pretty sure that this will line up with this block and this block. Like, it should basically just flow directly up into that. And don't worry, we are going to have to do something up here, because this doesn't look, it doesn't look super bad, but it doesn't exactly look great either. So we'll have to do something up there to kind of clean up the upper levels. But that'll be something that we'll get to at some point. So let me go ahead and get these pillars built up, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. The pillars are all in place, and I went ahead and I removed that kind of netherrack outline as well that marked out where this line of the ceiling was, because now we can just look up and see the ceiling. So we didn't really need it anymore, so I got rid of that as well. One of you suggested in a comment on, I think it was the last Hermitcraft video, it might have been the one, no, it must have been the last one. One of you suggested that we take this little area right here, because remember there's like a dome. Let's just pop out right here. There's like a little cylindrical bit that kind of sticks out of the side of the cathedral here, and then I did do the one on the other side as well. But one of you suggested that we should take that and turn it into like a little an area on either side where there's like a statue, and I think that's an awesome idea. I love the idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this kind of like a circle, and it's going to end up, oop, I'm using the wrong pickaxe, but something like, well, we got to figure out, here, let's do this. Let's get rid of this stuff first. We need to make sure we don't get rid of certain things. So let's just tear it down to like here, right? And what we're going to want to do is basically curve this. This ran in here, right? And then that was down. Is that not lined up properly? I guess there's an andesite block. Yeah. Okay, I see now. So let's kind of mark this out. What we want is we want to take advantage of this space and essentially turn it into like a half circle. And I think the easiest way to do that is kind of like this, right? And then we would fill out these walls, and that'll give us kind of this half circle shape here, and it will make use of this space. It doesn't have to be perfect. It won't line up with the dome, but you can tell that this will be the half circle, right? So that should work out pretty well. And we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, so we can kind of figure that for the other side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here is where it would start turning. Right? Yeah. And we got some of these torches we gotta put back, but you guys kind of get the idea, I hope. So we've got our 3, boop, boop, 1, 2, 3, boop, boop. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Because then this will be the 3rd right here. And then we can make use of the space. So what I need to do next is I need to relocate essentially this wall. I got to get rid of this wall, and basically I need to fill in this part. Okay, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm not going to do most of that on camera, but while I'm doing that, I do want to discuss one really quick thing. For those of you who don't watch my Kingdoms series, I discussed this in detail in the Kingdoms episode that came out yesterday, but in a nutshell, right now I'm working on essentially the very last assignment of my military career, or at least the last real assignment of my military career. I'm working on a very large court case. I'm working on a homicide case, actually. So that's a very time-consuming thing. It's probably going to take about a week and a half to 2 weeks, or a week and a half to 2, I should say it's probably going to take about a week and a half to 2 more weeks, somewhere in there, and then I will be completely done with it. But at the moment, I am working on that, and it's taking up quite a bit of my time, and honestly, that's completely expected. I figured it would. So, yeah. We also need to figure out how we're going to do this little bit, because I'm thinking we want right here, right? That'll line up with this. Yeah, there we go. So I'm thinking like what we'll end up doing is creating kind of like an inwards dome as well over here. And that's lined directly up with this, right? Yeah, there we go. So then comes the easy part. Then all we got to do is tear down all of this. And we can bring this to probably about, I don't know, here or so. Something like that. For now, we'll just kind of bring this down to like here. And then this will be like an inward dome. So anyway, so as I was saying, I'm working on this very large case, and it's very time consuming. It's basically the last thing I'll ever have to do in the military. I work as a court reporter. For those of you who don't know that, I work in military law. And basically, yeah, it's a big case, and it's exciting, and I'm, happy to be a part of it, because it's something I find very fulfilling, I guess would be the way to put it. But it is cutting into my video time. On the days when I'm working on that, which is basically your normal, it's a regular work schedule, like a Monday through Friday type thing. On the days when I'm working on that, I don't really have a whole lot of time to work on videos. So I'm trying to get like all of my videos for the week recorded over the weekends. Thankfully, this is a 4-day weekend because it's Columbus Day on Monday, which is a little weird that's a 4-day weekend for us. But hey, that's the government for you. So, I'm enjoying my 4-day weekend by working. Story of my life. That's nothing new. But long story short, if videos are a little bit lighter this week, just understand why. That's what's going on. I'm hoping I'll still be able to have the normal amount of 2 videos a day on this channel and 2 videos a day on my second channel. But if not, that's why. That's what's going on. Don't panic. It's okay. And as soon as this is done, I'm very much looking forward to getting back to my normal schedule and actually being able to focus on YouTube, because October has been a ridiculous month for me between the wedding and now this. It's been very difficult to kind of keep up the consistency that I normally like to keep up. So yeah, but anyway, I don't want to talk about that too much more, because as I said, I discussed it extensively in my most recent Kingdoms video that came out yesterday. So if you want to hear more about that and kind of the case and stuff like that, and my thoughts on things involving my military job, you can watch the Kingdoms episode. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work on this. I'm hopefully going to get a pretty good chunk of it done In fact, I'm gonna get this whole like wall thing all filled out, and then I will be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and the cathedral, I've done some things. I've done a few things. You may notice the floor is now not stone. It is now spruce, and it is going to be spruce. That's going to be the main floor. Now, going down the middle, like straight down the middle right here, we're going to have carpet. Yeah, like straight, probably a 5 wide carpet is what I'm thinking, or maybe like 3 and then, well, it'll be 5 wide carpet, but maybe 3 of one color and then a border on it or something. I don't know exactly yet, but it's going to be a carpet going down the middle, for sure. And then I also decided that on this back side, I was going to do kind of the same thing we did over here on the sides, in that I was going to kind of carve out like a little half circle, and then this will come up probably to about here or so, and then dome in, much like we did on the sides, but shorter, and fatter as well, because these are much smaller cylinders than this is going to be. And then as a result, since we'll have all this space, we'll probably take the altar, which is this, it's marked out as this, and we'll probably scoot that back to about here. In fact, we'll probably end up scooting back a lot of this stuff, a lot of the, like the altar, the pulpit, all this different stuff. We'll probably end up just like scooting it back farther into this, and I'll have to figure out what else goes in the front of a Catholic church, because this is meant to be a Catholic cathedral, but I'm not Catholic, so I think I've been in a Catholic church maybe twice in my entire life. I should probably just ask my wife. My wife is Catholic. Be like, what is supposed to go in the front of a Catholic church? So anyway, yeah, it's one of those things where I know that there's other stuff in the front. I've been in Catholic churches for like choir stuff, but as far as actually, I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to like what goes in the front. So those of you who know, like, if you are regularly in a Catholic church and you can tell me like, yeah, there's a choir area over here, and over on this side there would be, you know, that's where the organ would be, or any of that kind of stuff, please let me know, because I don't. As I said, I'm not Catholic. So I do not really have a whole lot of experience, and you know, some of it can be researched. You can look some of this type of stuff up on like Google and stuff like that. But also, when you don't really know what you're looking for, it's very easy to come across like misinformation and then be like, oh, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. And so, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, though. It's just one of those things where like, yeah, we'll sort it out. Obviously, this beacon is not going to be here when we're done. I think I'm probably gonna tear down the beacon fairly soon. I want to finish getting this in, because this whole, a good chunk of this wall is gonna have to get carved out. But after that, I think I'm pretty much good to tear down the beacon. I don't think we need the beacon anymore after that, until we, you know, finish a larger portion of the cathedral and get into basically terraforming all of this area around the cathedral, because right now there's a lot of that needs to be done. We're gonna have to tear up a lot of this hill and all that kind of stuff, and that's something where I would want the beacon, but this is, I mean, beacon doesn't take that long to tear it down and put it back up. So but this entire thing, the entire floor is now spruce, including the floor underneath the beacon. It's all sprucified. We can even pop down here and you can see it's all spruce, except for the pillars, because the pillars, obviously, you're not going to be going inside pillars, so it doesn't really matter. We also need to do something with this, right? So we've got this whole cathedral is basically sitting on like an elevated platform, and I have kind of a plan for this. I'm not going to do... In fact, most of it I'm not going to do right now, but I do want to do just a tiny bit to kind of show you what my general plan is here. So basically what I'm planning is this. I'm going to take like probably andesite like so, right? And we'll bring that out. If I can, yeah, there we go. We'll bring that out probably to here in this case. And then, well, actually, it's going to have to go out farther than that because it's going to have to encapsulate. It's going to be essentially a box platform, and it's going to have to be large enough to cover these outer towers, this cylinder that we built last episode. So I'm thinking what we'll probably do is go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that down like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And I think that'll be big enough. It should be, right? Yeah, that'll be big enough to cover that tower over there. So for sure. And then it'll kind of, you know, we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll basically just make it as big as we need to make it. Okay. So we're going to do something like that. Then we will follow that up by filling the backside. Uh-oh. I felt that coming. I felt the sneeze coming. It was a sneeze. It's okay. I have survived. We're fine. It's the worst feeling in the world. You know that? It's like, you know that sneeze is going to come and then it just doesn't for a minute. And you're like, and you're in like that state of limbo, right? Where you're like waiting for the sneeze. And it's just the worst if you're like in the middle of talking. You're in the middle of like a conversation. And then it's like, oh, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What's going on? Yeah, it's the worst feeling. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll get this little bit in place, and then we'll basically just fill in this backside with stone, and we'll go with stone brick as well. It's not just going to be stone. We may even mix in some cobblestone here or something as well. I don't really know yet. But the idea is that this will give the platform a little bit of interest from the front, right? It'll make it look not so boring. It'll make it look structured and intentional, etc. We may even want to kind of do it in layers. Like, how do I explain that? For example, something like this, right? So it would kind of go up like so, and then this would come down. And then right here, we would do the same thing. So it would be essentially like multiple platforms, but I don't know about that just yet. I'm on the fence on if I want to do that or not. It's really going to depend on how it looks. And if we're going to do that, then we're going to need to work some other stairs and stuff in. Yeah, we'll sort it out as we go. It'll be fine. But ultimately, we're going to have like a wall here and an elevated platform that we want to look very structured and all that kind of stuff. And then right here will be stairs that lead up, right? So this will kind of end up probably coming back like so until we get the stairs properly in place is what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's essentially the plan. And this one we could probably make flush so the stairs don't look so weird. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. But you can see, and then up here we'll have, you know, the regular andesite just as a border. We may end up doing something kind of like what we did up there, right? So maybe every, what was it? Like every 5 blocks? So maybe we would go here and here. So we'd do like every 5 blocks like so. We'd bring up a little one. And then maybe we'd even take some iron bars like we did in kind of the upper levels of the cathedral, and bring that along to kind of join all of this up, right? Let's take a look. Let's see how this looks. If we do that, and then what I'd probably want to do, honestly, is I'd probably want to grab some cobblestone walls, much like we did on the upper levels of the cathedral. Let's just try this out and see what we think. I don't know if I'm going to do this, do the cobblestone walls or not. So first, let's take a look without, right? Because we want to make a judgment call as to which one looks better. Okay, that's not bad. We could also consider putting some slabs up there, maybe. Maybe like some stone slabs could look good. Or the alternative is cobblestone walls with another iron bar on top, like so. There we go. Take a peek at that. Does that look better? Maybe. Maybe it does. You'll have to let me know what you think. And keep in mind, and I've had a lot of people ask, are you going to make the entire cathedral out of stone? Yes and no. It's not going to be stone as in like smooth stone for the entire cathedral. We're going to have texture variation in it, much like we did here. But it's going to be primarily stone and stone variants, if that makes sense. So stone, stone brick, cobblestone, andesite, you know, et cetera, et cetera. The majority of the cathedral is going to be made out of that. And then the floors will be wood. We'll probably do the statues out of quartz, is what I'm thinking. Quartz and or like white concrete, very light, something that really stands out and catches your eye. So there'll be, you know, once we get inside, there'll be a lot of opportunities to add color. We're also going to use a lot of greens, hardened clay, etc. But the cathedral's coming along. We've made some good progress today. We got the pillars in place. We got a floor in place, which actually took forever. We've got a wall design kind of figured out over here. We got the little alcoves dug in. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're making progress. But unfortunately, guys, I am out of time for this episode. So I think I am going to go ahead and call this one right here. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.